In this moment, the entire room was filled with the crisp sounds of thinking and an occasional cheer from the students. Then, Keating pulls out a trash can and tells everyone to toss away that boring knowledge. He then seriously reminds people, poetry, beauty, romance, love, this is what we're all about in life. Mr. Keating tells the tale of the Dead Poets Society, founded by Romantics. Their routine: reciting poetry in a nearby cave. In the teacher's description, the Poetry Society is a secret paradise where souls roam free and bodies find liberation. Todd, listening to this, yearns for such an ideal world. Neil, Todd's roommate, decides to resurrect the Dead Poets Society. Like-minded partners gather, getting a campus map from a library, and they plan a reasonable course of action. Before they start, Neil invites his roommate Todd to join, but Todd has this unexplainable aversion to reciting poetry. Growing up, his brother Shadow always loomed over him, making him feel like a transparent person. So he dreaded expressing himself in front of others, but with Neil's enthusiastic, this timid lamb summoned courage to take a step. They escaped campus at night, traversing thorny paths into the misty forest. Finally, they reached the ideal place mentioned by the teacher. Moonlight illuminated the cave, casting a glow on the youth's faces. Leading the charge, Neil excitedly read from Thoreau's Walden, kicking off the party. I went to the cave because I want to live deeply and suck out all the marrow of life. I want to discard all that's lifeless, not realizing I never lived till I'm dead. Next, the rich kid Charlie borrowed lines from British poet Abraham to sing about the meaning of love. Then Stephen turned things up with a rap style, blending ideals and faith into a performance. Under his influence, everyone began to involuntarily dance. The usually stiff Todd seemed liberated in the cave, temporarily forgetting his brother's pressure. But the next day, returning to reality, Todd went back to his gloomy self. When the teacher inquired of him what precisely the purpose of language development was, he pondered for a long time but couldn't say a word. This was a question without a fixed answer and required Todd to express his thoughts. But having been raised to measure up to his brother, he had long lost the ability to listen to his heart and express himself. Mr. Keating didn't press the boy. He knew Todd wasn't deliberately being silent, and changing that timidness wouldn't be easy. After class, he assigned everyone homework. Each must create an original poem to recite in the next session. Just before he was about to leave, he took the time to specially mention Todd, that particular young man who harbors a fear of self-expression. A wonderful weekend arrived as scheduled. Some worked together on the water, others competed in words, while some danced and sang in secret corners. Only Todd struggled alone in his dorm. Poetry assignment was as challenging as climbing Everest for him. At that moment, Neil burst in excitedly, showcasing his true desire to Todd. It was a casting call for the play Dream a Little Dream. Neil candidly confessed that his dream was to be an actor. Though his father pressured him into medicine, now he'll rebel and follow his inner voice. All thanks to the courage bestowed upon him by Mr. Keating. But Todd, also trapped by his parents' expectations, hadn't awoken like Neil. In his worldview, his mission was singular, to become an excellent scholar like his brother. For this reason, he felt that his only options were to comply and remain silent. The concept of rebellion had never once appeared in his vocabulary. At night, Todd read his original poem over and over again, but his confidence continued to dwindle. Because on this assignment, he couldn't copy from his perfect brother and lacked confidence in his abilities. Thus, the weekend slipped quietly by, and soon it was back to Mr. Keating's poetry class. Some students passionately expressed their love, while others described their lazy cats at home. Then it was Todd's turn to present his work, but he lied and said he hadn't prepared. This absolutely didn't escape Mr. Keating's keen and observant eye. He pinpointed Todd's deep-seated fear. He was afraid that his thoughts had no value and expressing them would only embarrass him. To help Todd overcome this misguided perception, Mr. Keating wrote Whitman's lines on the board. I stand upon the rooftops of the world and shout my ambition. He subsequently invited Todd to come to the front and demonstrate precisely what shouting entails. Mr. Keating praised Todd's ambition, asking him to gaze at the Whitman portrait and speak his first thought freely. Then Mr. Keating delicately covered his eyes with a handkerchief to further broaden the scope of his thinking. So, if I say there are many places with many different ideas, then that must be love. I'm looking for something real and quality. I think that's what humanity should strive for. But wait, I gotta tell you, understanding this feeling is super complex. The headmaster of Welton Academy suspected that the Dead Poets Society and the recent student unrest were influenced by Mr. Keating. After all, he saw Mr. Keating leading the students outdoors instead of lecturing pre-arranged material as disrespectful to tradition. Mr. Keating felt powerless. As a teacher without a title, how could he hope to shake 100-year-old educational philosophy? But on the flip side, he was helpless. At least he could save the faithful followers in front of him.